first off, has everybody seen us out before or have like a rough idea of what we're doing? If not, I'll go into it, try to break it down. It's a juice bar, and we pull it behind our bike. It's just about the size of a bar you'd walk up to, and our juicer's pedal powered. It's an old exercise bike and a manual masticating juicer, a bunch of spare bike parts put together. And so we don't pull any electricity. We can do everything using human power, and we can get in and out of a lot of places. There's a lot of benefits to it. It also means a lot of work, I guess.
Yeah.
So a lot of people ask us why we chose to do it this way. I guess that's one of the things I would talk about first. And it kind of starts with my love of cycling and a great appreciation for human power. Like, as I relied on my bicycle more and more for transportation around town, I got inspired to ride across the country, and so I saved up my money and worked on my bike, got it nice and solid, and flew up to Canada and Vancouver and rode my bike all the way down the west coast. And it was an amazing trip, totally changed my life. Just climbed over mountains, camped on the beach, saw a bunch of amazing things, and really proved to myself that like human power is one amazing thing that we can take for granted real easily and not really recognize how much power is there. So I wanted to convey that like enthusiasm to other people and kind of get them excited about riding bikes. If it's just getting someone to ride their bike to work or just across town for the first time, I think it's going to inspire them to ride more. It makes the city nicer when people are riding their bikes. It makes your day nicer when you get to enjoy the fresh air, get those views. So anybody that I can convince to like get out there and ride their bike, that's going to be big. So we wanted to do something bigger than just ride our bikes to work. We wanted to like take our job on the bikes. And it took a few years of playing around in my head to figure out what could we do to make a business that was like based around a bike. Fortunately, when I met Hannah, she was into juicing a whole lot. Like, just about every day, I would say. That was a really good marriage of ideas. I've looked at different blender bikes, seen those on do-it-yourself websites, and there's a lot of different machines out there. The juicer wasn't out there, but I figured it wouldn't be a hard conversion.
Yeah, it's just it's a masticating juicer that is sold by this company for a hand crank, so you can like take it camping or take it with you. And so we thought, when we first, or when Andy, he did most of the designing, but we had like a electric Champion juicer, or no, an Omega.
Sure.
No, Champion, yeah, it's like this very loud, high speed, kind of terrifying actually, machine, and so we tried to convert that, and that was not working. So going with like a manual, can bring it to pedal power, made a lot more sense, and it works fantastic. Actually, it's, I would say, more efficient than our electric fancy juicer at home. Like, it works faster, and it's not loud, and it's fun because you pedal it.
So it has worked out for us. It's been kind of a success in people's minds, like from the get-go. Everyone's fascinated with it. We sell juice to people that have never had juice before, aren't even really particularly interested in it, but they just love our idea. They're like, "We like what you're doing. What are you selling? I want to buy it." And we'll explain it. So that's really nice to have that kind of support. We also haven't sunk any money into advertising, but we've landed in newspapers, online newspapers. Get Out Magazine put us on the cover last month. And all that came just because our idea is innovative and it really like sparks, I don't know, it connects with people.
Yeah, people get so excited, and that's a really cool thing, is seeing, every time we're out at the market, especially because there's a lot of people who come from out of town, from different places, and they just get so excited about it. They're like, "We love you. We love what you're doing. This is the most fantastic thing." And then also, they're like, "This is such an easy idea. Why didn't I think of this?" Of course, like, it's so simple. When we were explaining it to people originally, no one really got it, or they didn't really see how it would work. They're like, "I don't know, that doesn't really sound, I don't really understand. You're pedaling your bike while you're making juice." And now that we have it in front of people and they can see it, it's just like the most simple light bulb idea.
Yeah. It's like that analogy I really hate about the Columbus's ships, and the Indians couldn't see the ships coming in because they didn't have anything in their mind to understand what a giant ship was. I felt like that trying to explain our business idea to people. They were just like, wouldn't see it. And now that they see it, they're like, "Oh yeah, totally. I would have done the same thing." Like, "Oh yeah, it does make sense now." But that's really what we wanted to do, was make this new idea, because there's nothing quite like it out there. And we wanted to make it solid in people's minds, and then like let their minds take it to another level. Because with what we're doing, pulling a giant box behind a bicycle, you could put a lot of different products in there. Like whatever someone wants to sell, they could sell cheeseburgers out of there. And I whatever their passion is, someone might see this and be like, I can sell this off my bicycle and get started.
Which people do, and especially like in other countries. We were in Asia for a while, and that's where we got really inspired to like start doing it. It's just seeing how people are so innovative and creative, and they just kind of would build everything from the ground up and use whatever they had. And that was a big part of kind of like, for us, we wanted to have a green business, a bicycle business, but we didn't know exactly how to do it, and it kind of turned out with lack of funding, we just like started really small and stayed small, and it worked. Like, we don't have to have a storefront, we don't have to have all these things that cost a lot of.
We like had thought about it. I think we saw a few retail spots for rent at somewhat affordable prices, and we were thinking, maybe we could just get this storefront turned into a juice place. But crunching the numbers, that was way beyond us. And then it looked at trucks, like maybe we can get a truck and use solar power and do juice off of that. That's still, the average food truck nowadays costs about $50,000. We don't have this kind of money, and we didn't want to go into debt to try to get this type of money. So we built everything out of our savings and put the whole business together for, I'd say, right around $5,000, which is very low. We've been able to make that back just off the farmers market so far, and so I would say it's like successful enough for us.
Yeah, I mean, we could make it bigger. Like, if we're in the process of building another juice bike, so that we can have two going, so maybe people can start peddling their own juice, because a lot of people want to have that connection, which is really cool. And if we wanted to build another cart, we could, and we could hire people. We haven't really taken that step of like expanding with employees, just because it's a little bit scary to do that, to have someone depend on you like that. So we'll see if we end up doing that, but there's a lot of avenues for expansion. If someone else wanted to adopt this business model, they could really like take off, and especially in other cities. Chattanooga is a little tricky with some of the food carts struggle a lot here, because we're not really used to seeing that on the street and supporting it. But other cities who already have that huge food cart culture and mobile food culture, like, this idea would do like fantastic. Yeah. Really fantastic.
And I guess on that note, we're not trying to grow in terms of like franchising to every other city. I would rather see someone take it to their own city with their own idea. And we'd like to consult with them, make sure they have the right equipment. We could help them with the build out, that they can put their own name on it and run away with it. That being said, like, we also want to be like the inspiration for people. And so it's important for us not to fail, I guess, since it's a new idea, more so than it would be just if we were trying to run a business, because we're doing something new. I don't want people to see this and be like, oh, they tried to do it with bicycles and they failed miserably. So we want to be successful. It helps that we're not in a business like a storefront, so we don't have to show up 5 or 6 days a week. And if we close down, then it looks like we're gone. Like right now, when we pop up, we're open, we're on the streets, people are like, oh great, look, my surprise. But they're never like expecting us to be there. And so with our busy lives, we're both in school, we're both working other jobs, like we can only make time to be out about 3 days a week, and we're still kind of like viewed as a success when we're out there. I think that's one of the benefits of starting really small, is that, you don't have nearly as much to lose there.
Yeah, and it's not a heavy weight of responsibility on you. Like, starting your business is a little bit daunting, but if you start as small as we did, or within that range, it's much less of a scary feeling thinking about all the bills you have to pay, or you have to get up this time every day and do this and work until 2 in the morning, which we do sometimes anyways. But like, it just helps to start small, and it's okay to start small. I think. I mean, you see, there's so many huge successful businesses that you kind of want to jump ahead to that point. I feel like a lot, and like, that's not really, you don't have to do that. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to do it that way.
Yeah, and we've learned so much that we didn't know before. It's our first experience jumping into business, and so we've got a lot to learn on the way, and we don't want to learn it with like the consequences, big consequences. We've learned a lot about location, where we thought might be the best location to sell juice is not, maybe one of the worst, and then some other places surprise us. So that's been very fortunate to learn that. Anything else? You want to start taking questions? Really, we want to hear a lot of questions from people. We didn't really prepare like a huge speech, just kind of want to explain like where we come from and why. But if anyone had any questions on like where we want to go, or what we want out of the business, or what we want to see the future look like, please. Yes.
I'm sorry, I walked in a little late. Can you tell me your product one more time?
Yeah, it's off-grid juice. And it's a juice bar. We carry a trailer behind our bikes, much larger than a kid's trailer. It's like a
little bar.
It's a little bar on wheels, and we pull it behind. We carry about 100 to 200 pounds of produce in there, just using ice packs and coolers to keep it cool. And then we have a masticating juicer, so we just load fruits and vegetables in there and make a fresh juice on the spot. And juicing is like a big craze. It's like blowing up in other cities. Like New York's got them almost on every corner. They're like Starbucks now. Starbucks actually bought a juice company called Evolution Juice. I think they've got 60 some odd locations around. They're growing. And I can't remember all the specifics on the numbers, but there's about $1 billion going into juice these days, and, in one company. So it's good.
I mean, the way we're doing it is obviously a lot different, and we don't really want to bottle necessarily.
Yep.
We really like the idea of it being extremely fresh and the customer being able to see all the things going into it. And from a nutritional standpoint, I believe that that's the only way to drink juice, because otherwise you're losing a whole lot of it and you're paying for it and you're just not really getting anything. So, but that said, if you do bottle it, that's how you make the money. That's where it gets to be $1 billion industry, is bottling it, doing huge quantities. So that's not what we'll end up doing, but that's okay.
Yeah, we're pretty uncompromising when it comes to our standards, I guess, and that's probably going to, keep us at a certain size and at a certain level. I mean, we could cut our bottom line in half just by not using organic produce and going to conventionally grown produce. That's not something we want to do. We could hook up electricity. I don't know that that would actually save us money though. That actually worked out. And in a lot of ways, starting as small as we had to made things the way they are. Like, we didn't have the money for like a big truck, so we had this like bicycle thing. We're like, we can work with our bicycles instead of buying a truck. Well, that made us like reduce everything to the smallest, simplest form. Even the juicer, like we could get like car batteries, run them off of solar panels and all that stuff. That's another couple $1,000s we didn't have to spend. So let's see if we can make this work just using human power. And so that pushed us to like come up with new ideas. Necessity is the mother of invention. We came up with a couple along the way.
What challenges did you have from since you're selling a food product, from a permitting standpoint or any regulations?
That was probably the trickiest part, and I wish I had made a list of all the steps so I could. People have asked us how to do it. It's just a lot of paperwork and a lot of calling the offices like in Knoxville or here at the City Hall and asking them what you're supposed to do.
And
they
don't know because
they didn't know. Yeah, we took it to the health department and they were just like, oh, this is, and they actually got everyone in the building to come out.
We're supposed to have one inspector and there was 7 of them all scratching their heads about it.
But they were mostly concerned about having meat or dairy products, and they asked us if we were having any of that, and we're not, so that kind of changes the regulations, makes it a little bit easier. We kind of go beyond what we're supposed to have. We have a sink that we use. It's this awesome camping sink with the battery powered little squirt pumper, so you can wash your hands faucet. I don't think you even have to have that with what you're doing. You just have to have hand sanitizer and sanitary wipes and stuff. It was, that was a lot of money too that went into all the different permits, and it's quite a process. It took us several months to get all of that in order, and I could see how that would be a kind of discouraging factor for someone. They would just kind of be like, they would start and see everything they have to do and just be like, nope, that is way too much paperwork.
That's kind of like what would have intimidated us to begin with, because when we were in Asia and seeing all these small businesses all along the street, we're like, this is great, why can't we do this in America? It's probably just over-regulated and you can't have a business like that. But we still wanted to come back and try. And so we went through all the right avenues to get it going, and it's less work than a college class. You just turn in things on time. You just fill out your worksheet and you turn it in. Probably like 10 or 15 worksheets, something like that. On that though, there's some book called The $100 Startup, which is, I guess, kind of a joke to me now, because just to get our permits to legally sell the first product, probably spent $1,000, and developing the LLC, $250 for the health department, $30 for the sidewalk vendor permit. There's a lot of money that goes into it. Roughly $1,000. That's not too bad though. And Chattanooga was supportive, but the sidewalk vendor permit cost $30 for the year.
Which is, that's very
great.
amazing.
So I think more people could jump in on that.
Yeah, I don't know if there's anyone else that, I know there's a guy that has hot dogs sometimes, not your awesome hot dogs, but a little hot dog cart that sets up like 5 bars. And that's the only side, I mean, I have.
See coffee.
What's that? Yeah,
Coffee guy.
Yeah.
His pole.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's Cody, he's awesome.
So yeah, we've tried to help him. I mean, he had everything going on his own, but we've always kind of presented ourselves to him. And anyone else that's just talking about starting, we want to really help people get going. Tell them how easy it was for us. Some of the things they might not foresee that they want to look into, but I think a lot of ideas are totally doable. And you can try things out on a small scale. There's not so much to lose.
Yeah.
What was your experience like with like finding suppliers? Like, how did you decide who would supply your like food solutions?
That was kind of the last thing we did, and we were a little nervous about it. We actually have a wonderful contact with the farmer's daughter. We're friends with the owners, and so what we do is we piggyback on their order because we aren't buying enough to have. We have to have a $500 minimum. It's through an organic distributor out of Atlanta that delivers here, and I think they're like one of the only people that get organic produce besides like Whole Foods. They also deliver Whole Foods, and so they invited us to just do that with them since we weren't meeting that minimum. So we do that, and then we also get as much as we can from local farmers, which is hard because things go in and out of season, and your customers want the same thing all the time. That doesn't always work, and that's another thing I like about how small we are and doing it ourselves is that we can say, no, that's out of season, sorry. And then people should kind of understand that, educates them a little bit about where their food is coming from, and that it's not always going to be there in front of them. So.
Yeah, for sure. In the spring when we started, there was hardly anything getting produced from the farms locally. So there wasn't much for us to pick from. Gradually, we've been shifting over to local farmers and using farmers markets where the only thing we're ordering from Destiny Organics is romaine lettuce right now.
Yeah, we get like pineapple and oranges because that has to come from somewhere tropical-ish.
So do farmers give you a good deal because you buy more than
They do.
household?
They're so wonderful, and I love to be able to support them in a larger scale. I mean, I support them for our household. That's where I buy all of our produce. But being able to like come and buy 20 pounds or 30 pounds of cucumbers, like that makes a bigger dent in their But yeah, they're really helpful, and they give you wholesale price, and they get excited about seeing you.
So by getting produce from different vendors and suppliers, does that affect your predictability for your profit margin coming into next year or coming into this when items aren't available from farmers?
Yeah.
Or is that something that you can predict kind of straight to?
I would say predictability, it does affect that because there's sometimes we're like, oh, we didn't get oranges. And sometimes if it's coming from Atlanta, they won't even tell us till they show up and they don't have something. So we've gone through Whole Foods. It's actually affordable when you get...
It's comparable to our distributor.
Yeah, we get tax-free there and then 10% off on a case, sometimes more. So yeah, we could do better. We're also, we're buying more than someone buys for their household, but a lot less than an average business would. So we're kind of in that middle ground on pricing. Yeah, we could cut down our bottom line, like lowering our costs, I think, there. More than anything.
But right now, like, we have a farm, Coleco Farm, and they asked us what we would like them to grow for next year. So like we'll have cucumbers, we'll have like greens that they know that to have a lot of, which is really nice of them to offer that. So that'll make it a bit easier.
What's your most popular drink?
Our most popular drink?
Yeah.
Oh, it's one called the Grasshopper. It is romaine, lettuce, or any other greens, like spring greens, kale, mint, pineapple, apple, and I think that, I said mint. And that's our most popular one, which is great because it's green drink, and the majority of our customers have never had anything like that, and often are scared of it. And we've converted a lot of people, which is really cool. We have another drink called the Sunrise. It's orange, pineapple, watermelon, and carrot, and so they go towards that. That's fruity, but don't want the carrots in it because that's a vegetable. Even though I'm like, you won't be able to taste the carrots, I promise. And they're like, no. So we have a few people who just would get that the first time, no carrots, and then came back and got the carrots, and now only drink like ones with kale or other green vegetables, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
They're,
So we've seen people's taste, like totally enjoy it,
which is what we, a huge part of it, for me especially, is like just getting someone to try something new, maybe turn their palate to liking vegetables. That's kind of what I really wanted to be able to do, and we are for people. So that's. Did you have one?
Yeah. You guys mentioned you go to that drop.
Yeah.
Do you hope to get this to the point where you go on that drop?
We were originally,
Yeah.
and now I don't know. This isn't, I don't think, what we want to do forever. And that's, I think, why we're kind of hesitant about hiring employees or about expanding in some ways. Like right now, for the future, we're kind of thinking about sharing this idea more with people or helping other people start a business like this in whatever way they want to. And that's kind of...
I felt like I could have given up my job during the summer months and focused a lot more on running the cart every day, but I knew that come winter time it would die down and we'd probably be all but closed for
Right.
a couple of winter months, and I didn't want to be looking for a job right around then. So I kept on working at a restaurant 2 nights a week.
Yeah, it's kind of, that's a hard thing because it is seasonal. And for where we are, like in other cities, they have like food cart pods where there'll actually be like a tent and like heating of units, and so it's an all year long thing. But we don't have that. I mean, if we were in a city like that, we would be, yeah, all through the winter when it's cold, we could do it. But here, no one's gonna really come out when it's 15 or 30 degrees outside, which I don't want to either. So
Yeah, I don't blame them. Yeah. And the Sunday farmers market is our biggest draw. We sell more at the market than we would in 5 days on the streets. So it's when that dies down, it's going to be the bulk of our business going away.
Right. Yeah.
That's something to plan on. But there are, I mean, we've also thought about how to keep business going through the winter, and we can do the cleanses, like our own version of that. We can do deliveries, and I guess those are 2 of the bigger things.
Mm-hmm. We've kind of thought about expanding it into food a little bit, just like really simple, very clean, like healthy, like salads, like nuts and stuff like that. As far as delivery, like if we were gonna do that route, that might be something we would do.
You said you didn't want to get the bottle, but the bottle might carry you in the winter.
Yes, we've thought about that too.
It is. Well, we do have the 2. We've got Southern Squeeze and Local Juice doing bottling now, and they're pushing that really hard. There's a lot of things we can foresee it being problematic in bottling. One, you're just going to deal with waste. The shelf life of a juice is 2 or 3 days. That's like if you bought it, you wouldn't want to buy a juice that was more than a day old. So you've got to predict what your sales are going to be each day. To me, it sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah.
If you're trying to sell around 100 juices a day and you have a bad day, man, I mean, it's not cheap to put together. It's not lemonade. We put 2 pounds of organic produce into our product, so it's costing us $3 or $4 for each juice to make.
Yeah.
And I guess we're adding preservatives to it.
Yeah.
Like the most you could put extra lemon juice or something that would help the color not change, but besides that.
Yeah, it's
Can you take orders and not just try to predict?
That's one thing we have thought about doing. We started to take orders for people.
You have to do a daily delivery subscription.
Yeah, which I wouldn't be opposed to, especially if it's just like in Chattanooga city limits and I have a route, I could ride on my bicycle, even just hand deliver that, and I would be happy to ride my bike around town all day doing that. I don't know.
They have like a little box in front of their house, and you could put it in there, like
like the milkman would before.
Yeah.
I like that idea. I might run with that. Yeah. So there are ways.
Yeah, that brings up the question I have. It's like, do you have a system for predicting how much produce to buy? Like, and how do you work with that? Like, figuring out how much you're gonna sell, or do you just kind of go with your gut?
That was something that took a while. Like initially we weren't sure, but now we don't really waste very much, which is fantastic. And we know if we're doing the market, the Sunday market, like our biggest day, we know about how much we'll sell. And if we have leftover, it will last, as long as it's stored correctly, for that week, and then we can know we'll sell it during that week. But when we're doing like events or things things like that. It's when it gets trickier for us to
To
know.
predict. But fortunately, since we're not bottling it, like if we have a bunch left over at the end of the day, then that means we have 5 pineapples and a watermelon left over. We can save those for a couple of days,
Yeah.
mix and match, and make the juice the next day.
So you end up with not that much.
Yeah, we have almost no waste. I mean, almost no waste whatsoever. If you were juicing into bottles, you're going to be throwing away. I can't really imagine.
Which is what is kind of, I mean, we know that would keep us like over the winter, like you said,
Mhm.
but like thinking about if we had to throw away even like 20 bottles of juice, like I would just feel terrible about it.
Yeah.
You know, it's so wasteful.
So what's the waste from on the bottling?
Because it has a shelf life. It's really delicate.
Oh,
But
if we take orders? No, that would be
yeah,
fine. Yeah, I
right,
think we
yeah.
could do that. That would be fine.
Run with that.
Run with that one then? Yeah, just juice to order, yeah, just give us a day warning or a few hours warning even.
Yeah.
I think that would probably work. But we just got our website up, that's all new territory for us, and so we're trying to get a bit of an online store going so we can get towards taking orders, sell a few other things along those lines. It's all new for us, and we're doing everything ourselves, which is definitely maybe held us back, but we're learning everything along the way, which is what we wanted.
Right.
We're not paying anyone else to do it, and yeah, I'm comfortable now.
So how do you currently get out your location?
Get out to the location.
You know, like what do you do as far as
Oh.
pushing out? Like I'm going to
The social media forums
Oh,
is Instagram and Facebook.
be Instagram.
Yeah.
Like we have 2 set locations that we're always at. That's Thursday at Warehouse Row and then Sunday at the market. And then the other days are kind of pop-up locations or events like we've done.
Yeah,
the
Saturday's
last
typically an event.
Saturday there'll be like an event at Coolidge Park or wherever, so we'll do that and try to give people fair warning at least a day in advance. And then we always, once we get to a spot, we always like put on Instagram or Facebook to remind people, which seems to, I'm kind of new to doing something like that, but it works
Yeah.
for the most part. I mean, that's how everybody advertises these days, so it's a good thing.
Do you have any ideas for anything other than that? Or?
Well, I think you guys have a good as far as having a couple of base locations, but I think you guys will know that the best. Like you go set up, if it doesn't work, then
Yeah.
you pedal down the street. So,
Yeah. Yeah,
What,
we've done
what
that.
happened with the? I'm new here, so what happened with the food truck square thing that's off of Market? Or
Oh yeah, Center Park. It wasn't working. We went out there one day to try to sell on the sidewalk, and we didn't sell.
Yeah, there's a lot of the problem from there is that there's a high fee.
Okay,
be
to
selling
be in there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there wasn't any parking.
Okay.
So people would drive by and they're like, wow, look at all those food trucks. The closest parking is 9 blocks away. At this point, I was sort of chicken salad chip or whatever
Right.
restaurant is
Yeah.
right there. So that was the biggest issue.
did it spike and have like 10 trucks out there at one time? Because now I see one guy ahead.
Right,
and
I mean,
then-
the success of it definitely doesn't depend on the amount of trucks, it depends on how much money each truck is making. So I think that was a big issue too, that if people drive by and they only see one truck, then they don't think it's worth stopping. So it's been kind of tricky this year. Sorry to kind of get off.
No,
you're
keep
fine.
But I feel for these guys as far as picking a really good spot and sticking with it. 5 food trucks in Chattanooga are closing business. And that's one of the issues is that it's hard to find one really, really great location
Yeah.
for everyone.
That's the place that they're going to be.
Yeah.
Exactly. And the Sunday market tends to be the place for everybody.
Yeah.
If we could find another spot.
Yeah, we're trying to. I've kind of got this idea in my head of a coalition. There is a food truck coalition, but I want to have one that has like a contract that we give to property owners and managers. So we're like, here's all of us together. We're going to give you a set rate, which I was guessing like 5% is fair, or $5 minimum. So we get 5 trucks there, paying $5 a day for 5 days a week, and that's like $500 that this company is going to get, or this property manager is going to get for nothing. And we'll regulate ourselves, clean up after ourselves. And there's a lot of locations around Chattanooga where you saw us the first time on Cherokee and Manufacturers.
Yep.
That empty lot right there is unused right now. I don't know who's in control of it, but I'd like to find out and say, until you break ground, can we use this? Like make this part of Chattanooga a little bit better.
Public parking.
Yeah.
No, it's not parking. They've like barreled it all off or something.
Yeah, I think they're going to do a
it's
hotel
big deal.
there.
Another hotel there?
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
If that's the same location I'm hearing of.
On Cherokee and Fraser? Because they just sold the property right by Walnut Commons, across from Ice Cream to Show. That's going to be a hotel too.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, that's going to be a
Okay.
5-star
Yeah, it's
boutique
gonna be nice.
hotel, 5
Okay.
stories.
Yeah. So yeah, areas like that would be nice for us. I'd like to get the food trucks together and able to communicate with these people to make better use of the spots. I think Chattanooga will support it. It has to be the right spot though. Like Walking Bridge is one of the places we really wanted to be with our cart.
We thought it would be so awesome. We tried it one day, it was horrible.
Yeah.
Like you just never, it's so strange, like where people
It would be like
start.
6 in the morning if you guys did it. Because
Yeah.
those are the healthy people and the rest are tourists.
Yeah.
That's what.
Yeah.
The walking bridge thing, nobody has money on.
Right?
I don't want money on the walking bridge.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
On purpose.
Yeah.
What does your permit allow you to do from the city? Like, can you just show up at Coolidge Park when?
We can't be in the parks. The sidewalk, we can be on a sidewalk as long as it's 10 feet wide or wider.
Can't, it has to be 25 feet from a crosswalk.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, we can't be in Coolidge Park. We can't be within like 100 feet of the aquarium because Coca-Cola has a contract with them.
Yeah. And Friends of the Festival has a contract with Parks and Recreation. So they run anything around Coolidge Park, Renaissance Park,
The
the waterfront side of downtown, around the ballpark, and the Walking Bridge. And so for them, you have to pay them a large amount of money. You have to get it in a bid a year in advance to get one of their 7 spots around the parks, and then you pay $300 a month for that. Which I had actually tried to jump through the ropes to maybe do and wasn't in on time. I'm really happy that we didn't because when we actually just tried the spots out, then it worked. There's no one regulating us. No one's ever checked on us. Like we have all of our papers in order.
Yeah.
But we kind of start to realize that like, well, maybe we could go over there.
No one's ever asked us, and I guess because we're kind of recognizable, you know, but the first day we set up on the sidewalk was a really weird feeling. Just like sit there and start selling something. I have to do this.
Yeah.
Did you play the role of a customer?
We do that.
Actually done that before, yeah.
Oh, this is so cool.
It actually works. People
Or she likes it.
if you have a line, people will come and stand in line and they don't know why they're standing in line.
Yeah.
It's the weirdest phenomenon.
That's our thing at the market. If we lose our line, it's kind of like
line, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Your line at the market kind of looks like the entrance to the
Yeah.
the market.
Yeah, people hesitate. Oh no, wait, line again. Like, oh, okay, that's not the line. Yeah. But I noticed
talk about
it.
shoes, I don't know how to say.
Yeah. So I'll slow down if we've got like a line we're working on and I'm like down to the last person. Then I'm like, oh, I need to like take my time on this juice like, until the next person gets it behind them, and then I can like wrap it up and give them their juice.
See, that's all part of the, like, you know, if you want to sell licensing or consulting, that's what you tell people.
Yeah. Things you wouldn't do. Yeah, don't always be in a hurry.
Hire customers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is there anything you want from us as a group? Anybody that we can support you? Or?
From the group right here?
Yeah.
Yeah, just any of the ideas and asking us questions and trying to like poke holes and
This
maybe
is
we-
pretty awesome. We haven't really had this kind of feedback.
If you guys found a spot you're busy at all day, would you be able to carry enough product to last the whole day?
Yes, we can carry about 150 pounds of produce, which equals about 100 drinks.
And you're peddling that to the spot? Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That trailer weighs about 300 pounds fully loaded.
Well, actually, we do have another, like on the Sunday market, I pull a trailer too with another about 100 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, of produce.
You guys
So
got 2 bikes going there?
yeah,
Yeah. For the market.
Nice with speed limits, you can drop it down.
Yeah.
300 pounds.
it's pretty.
Oh, well, like I got like Randy low gears on it for sure. Yeah, I'm just spinning away. People are passing me on the walking bridge going uphill for sure. Yeah, we live in North Chattanooga and it takes us 45 minutes to get to the farmer's market.
But it's gotten a lot easier. So
Yeah.
really, it makes you feel strong, I guess.
Yeah.
Do you guys have as much business as you want? Do you want to do?
I would.
If we had more, if we had another day like Sunday where we had to have 150, 200 pounds of produce, that would be great.
Yeah.
Like if that was a location we knew we could go there and that would happen, that would be.
Just one more day?
I mean, that would make it so we could do it full time, basically.
Yeah.
Like why we haven't, or why we wanted to and then didn't change our minds about trying to do it full time is because of that, because we realized that it wasn't really sustainable to be so unpredictable about, even though we don't have an overhead cost, it still is, and it's mostly a lot of manpower, really.
So Warehouse Row is Saturday, right?
Thursday? Yeah, Saturday's kind of up in the air. We have been doing the climbing gym on Broad Street, and we do really well there because it's a wide sidewalk. We've got tourists coming off the electric shuttle. That's probably our best.
Isn't there work on Saturday though?
There is, yes, there's a Saturday market at the aquarium, but it's because of the
Yeah,
Coca-Cola
Coca-Cola.
contract, no food or beverage can be there, so.
So
Yeah.
there's nowhere else you can go on Saturday? I assume
No.
those are your days off from work.
Well, we also have to do all of our prep for Sunday, which involves like about 5 hours of us working together, washing all of our fruits and vegetables.
Yeah.
So having a big day like that would be all day Friday washing our fruits and vegetables. That's kind of where we need one more person to step in so that we can be doing prep and be out selling at the same time. I think that might have held us back a little bit.
Yeah.
Saturday we do well like on a downtown spot, or we get locations like the park. If we get invited to a festival, we get like the Wilderness Protection Act festival
Yeah.
last weekend.
Do you think you have enough of a customer base with like the regulars that if you had an indoor venue for the winter, that you'd be able to?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. And people ask us that all the time at the market, like, where are you located? And we're like, right here. You know, this is all we got.
Finding business is already in operation and maybe has a few extra square feet that you can just winter there.
Yes,
We've thought about that.
Warehouse room.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah, inside Warehouse Road could
Yeah.
probably work.
because we have so many repeat customers and people who come every, they know we're gonna be there.
And I would just hate for you to lose all that buzz over the winter and then have to start all over.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, be like, oh, we're back. And everyone's already found like another juice bar or something
Yeah.
like that.
I wonder if you could do like inside a grocery store, or if that's the atmosphere or the feel you want to cultivate.
No, that would be a good spot. I mean, Whole Foods sells their own juice there, so they probably wouldn't be crazy about it.
Grocery bar.
And so is Grocery Bar now too.
And grocery bar, Publix.
Publix.
Have you guys done outside Publix? Because they are busy.
That's,
No, I
you
don't
know,
know.
I hadn't asked them yet.
Yeah.
I didn't know, like the sidewalk there, if you
That's
tried,
cool.
because that's a busy location, I was just gonna
Yeah.
say. that.
Yeah.
Great clothes.
By the sign.
I love that, yeah. The robots are going to take all of our jobs now. That was the last thing a man could do was hold a sign. And now
That's all that guy had.
Did you have a question?
Yeah, so I know we're all spending time real quick. So is it fair to take away from Coca-Cola that you guys are one really good city location away, like the Sunday market, from having a full-time business? You're just like what was tried on Market Street.
Yeah.
You got the city is just one spot away from people like you being.
I think so. Yeah, one good spot, like Houston was saying with the food trucks, like they're failing because there isn't that support. And if we were in a city, or Chattanooga was a city that had that is a full-time job, definitely.
It might be difficult because you have to have a place like Center Park with foot traffic, but also with parking.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you were saying that was a big problem. But
Yeah.
if you had that, you could like buy that land and get all the food trucks there.
Yeah.
And you
It's
guys are
crazy
crazy
going.
ones.
We're what?
And you're probably not the only ones. You know, this is something.
Yeah.
18 teams in the food truck coalition. Soon to be 13, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
18 total.
18 in that?
It's just
Which is
something's
nice.
missing in Chattanooga. I don't know what it is. It's not getting that support because I know there are so many people here who support their local businesses, but for some reason it's not. And I don't know if it has to do with location and foot traffic. Like a lot of other cities, people are walking through their downtown area all day, like hundreds and hundreds of people, and they walk right by the food cart area, and that's why it's so busy. Maybe we just don't have that kind of
Yeah.
downtown setup. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I thought Center Park would be better than it was, for sure. And it's hard to find a location that's got everything, like you say, parking, foot traffic, and it's like empty. You know, because that's if it has parking and foot traffic, then it's a good location where someone else would want a business. So to find that empty lot is something that's a challenge. Yeah.
Have you guys looked into, or are you able to set up near the university? I know that they have a contract with Airmark, but I don't know if you're able to.
They have the Airmark contract, but we haven't asked them on the side. I think we would do great there
Yeah.
too.
And another, I know they've set up in the university center, it's called the Chat Fair, and it's supposed to be local cuisine, but we've had
Yes.
Tzatziki's for the past year there.
Okay.
Sluggos is there sometimes, which is great
Yeah.
when Sluggos is there, but we just had Gigi's Cupcakes there for the last month.
Really?
That's not food, that's dessert.
Yeah.
I'd rather have something like you guys there, and something that I know is just Chattanooga, so that we're supporting something
Yeah.
that's not
Yeah.
Do you think that would be, because I know when I was at UTC, you have the MOX card, so maybe a lot of students don't carry money for food because they have that. So setting up in their cafeteria would be better than trying to get out on the sidewalk so they could actually use their MOX
Yeah.
bucks.
I think it'd be a little bit of both. I think that like the best for setting up outside is going to be like areas that are the outside of campus, like that edge by Fletcher, places like that. Because I mean, for me, like I'm not in the center of campus.
Mhm.
Like seniors don't go into campus. Like we're on the edges at this point, and so like I guess it just depends on that.
Okay.
Really.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
We need to talk to Slugos is our commissary kitchen anyway, and so we talk to them. We can probably get the contact there. So yeah, we could be a little more aggressive and probably pursue it. Sometimes we hear there's a contract and we just kind of assume that it's not okay. But that's the same idea that would have kept us from going into business originally, was thinking that, oh, it's too over-regulated, we could never do what we want. And it turns out we mostly can.
So Sundays you're business day, right?
Yeah.
Are you always busy front, back, all day Sunday?
It slowed down a little.
It slowed down like near when the farmers market opened up and started in the spring. It was like insanely busy. Although it's hard for us to tell. We've gotten really good at it now, and we're very efficient. And so initially we were very overwhelmed. Might have felt busier.
So you want more business?
We could like say this Sunday our sales were like probably $200 less than like the highest. So we could have we could have handled more business. Like
you said you guys use Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that stuff.
Mhm.
Are you using that throughout the day when you're there? Shooting like every hour?
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a full-time job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at the point where you annoy the chef and they just say, I'm going to buy some damn juice.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if that
Somebody
was.
offside doing that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But maybe you take pictures in the market,
Auto post.
do something crazy.
So you really think
Yeah.
like that many? Because I do it initially, and then.
Yeah, well, you can set it up ahead of time, like
Oh.
on Twitter or Instagram or whatever.
Like a time release.
Yeah, so then like every hour there's a thing that says, hey, we're at the market.
Really?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Do
Sweet.
one time in the
Food
morning,
sweet,
they're
yeah.
going to forget about it, but
Yeah.
if you keep doing it all day, they're going to eventually get some.
Okay.
That's a great idea. It takes me like, because I just started using Instagram for this, it takes me like 30 minutes to write one. It's just kind of embarrassing.
Yeah.
You ought to get Hootsuite, which you can send to Facebook, Twitter, everything all from one.
What is it called?
Hootsuite.
Hootsuite?
Yeah,
Okay.
you can get it for free.
Okay.
If you don't use it very much or something, I don't know. But you can, and then I do that for like our organization's Twitter account.
Okay.
I do write like 5 things when I have extra time one time, and it goes out for the rest of the week.
Oh, good.
That's a great, thank you.
I'll look that up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I actually have a house where you were talking about, Cherokee and Manufacturers.
Yeah.
And actually my neighbor has a pretty large warehouse. And so we're in a really unique location because it's right across from Whole Foods.
Yeah.
It's also just walking distance to Publix too.
Mhm.
So if I could always hook you guys up with this guy, that would be useful at all.
Yeah. Is it the antique mill or across the street from that?
Yeah. It's kind of it's like off of Fraser and it's kind of off of Market Street too.
Yeah.
So it's just right by the Publix.
Oh, okay.
Kind of by the Taco Mamacita place.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's like in a commercial kind of area, like the
No,
houses?
it's residential, but yeah, for some reason he has this warehouse, and I think that he had the warehouse before the residential got there. So he's able to keep it. There's a lot of development going around, and a ton of people just walking around, especially on the weekends.
Yeah.
So
But yeah, we should talk about that after.
Yeah.
Okay,
That'd be
thank you.
nice.
Well, I think we're
Yeah.
out of time.
Okay.
Thank you guys.
All right. Yeah.